I guess go ahead and jump on over to the NBA with some news about next season. Despite the finals just ending less than 2 weeks ago, the 2020-2021 season is already getting in motion. Reports came out this week that the NBA is targeting December 22nd for a restart, with a reduced regular season to 72 games, down from 82. The idea is to wrap up the season on a near normal time and give the players an opportunity to participate in the Summer Olympics. However, with this date, which originally seemed to be going after New Year's, comes some issues. Most importantly, it will cram free agency and the draft into a few short weeks, could axe the All-Star game, and does present other issues like fan attendance. For now, no bubble is planned, but games may be scheduled to limit travel. So, Jay, it sounds like the NBA really wants to get this going sooner than later. Do you agree, or do you think it's too soon?
Oh no, it ain't too soon. You got to get this thing going. I mean, we knew. I mean, we knew this when they we had to shut down for X amount of months, and then they had to reduce what play-in games or seeding games or whatever fake thing they came up with to let the Blazers squeeze on in there. But no, this is something we kind of expected, and we knew it was going to be a rush thing after the NBA Finals. You didn't have much time. You got to cram the draft in. You got to get free agency. You got to get training camps. You got to do all these things before you can gear up for the next season. I'd like to see mid-December. I think this is a little late for me. I'm really not. You talk about a thing like free agency. I think free agency shouldn't take that long at all. I mean, sign with the team. I mean, it's not like these are things that like dudes haven't been thinking about. Some of them for months now. I mean, guys have been thinking about some of these things. So I don't look at that as something that should really hold this up. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, you got the draft, get free agency going very shortly after that, and then it's on a training camp, and let's get it moving. I do like the date. I'd like to see it. I think the target date is good. I'd like to see it right before Christmas. And I do think wait until the first of the year is probably a little too late. Plus, having that Christmas Day, when they give us five legit games normally, that's really when people kind of start. It's not really opening day for the NBA, but it's really the people's first national look at the NBA because of all the football stuff that's going on when the NBA season normally gets going. So I think that's good. Some of this stuff, however, I'm not too sold on. No All-Star game or All-Star weekend. I don't know about that. So we're not gonna have an All-Star game. We're not gonna do All-Star things, but we're gonna have a 2-week break in the middle of the season. For what? The regular All-Star break it's not even a week. I don't think it's even a week. But yeah, we can get a 2-week break. What's that for? So Tobias Harris can catch up on sleep? What is it? I just
why is it Tobias Harris? Like, why because he got to catch up on sleep?
You know what? Well, he had that one thing last year where he was talking about, oh yeah, all these flights and all these city to city traveling. I can't sleep, man. I'm like, okay, I don't care, man. Figure it out with that max contract that you clearly ain't worthy of. Some of these other things, the idea of this play-in tournament, I don't know what that's about. I was under the impression, and maybe I was wrong, that the play-in tournament or the play-in games, I don't want play-in tournaments. Have the regular season, the 8 teams with the best record go to the playoffs, and then that's that. It just seems like a gimmick thing that they're too many gimmicks for me. Let's see. Now, one note, and this is a key thing I wanted to bring up. It's next week, October 30th. That's a key date because I believe that's supposed to be the deadline for when the NBA and the Players Association are supposed to be able to complete the CBA modifications.
They're not.
Well, think of this. Remember Major League Baseball? The travesty that they were. They had an agreement at one point, and then they couldn't get on the same page as far as the salaries with were they going to prorate or we're going to have some kind of scaling thing where the higher paid players got less money to protect the lower middle class or whatever you want to call those fellas. But that's the one thing if you're the NBA. What I'm getting at is you don't want to get into a situation like baseball where for some reason last minute you're not on the same page, the league isn't on the same page with the players, and then this thing starts getting pushed back, and next thing you know, it's first of the year and nobody's even picked up a basketball again yet. So we don't. That's one thing that we can't have, because remember how embarrassing that was for baseball. They were getting mocked far and wide, including by me. But as far as the fans go, I know the fans are in here. I'd like to see fans. I was of the mindset that we're coming back off the shutdown. Let's forget about fans for these seasons that we're trying to close up. I'd like to see fans. We're already seeing it. Football's bringing up fans. Maybe some of that has to do with being outdoors, and we know. The NBA is an indoor game, so maybe that has to do with some of it. And maybe you like to remain cautious in that regard. I'd like to see fans, but it's not something that we have to have. But the NBA was absolutely successful with the bubble. They're going to go away from the bubble right here. Maybe we'll see how they do with managing the travel. But baseball, after a couple false starts, they ended up being successful. They kept everything under control. And although we know the college football and the NFL, they've had their own issues as well. But I think we've all seen that it is manageable, and because of that, I think the NBA can manage this moving forward.
Yeah. Listen, I'm with Jay on a couple of things. I'm gonna give a pushback. When the schedule start, I'm not mad at that. Before Christmas, we get some Christmas basketball. Still feel like the same, because we'll still get Thanksgiving football, Christmas basketball, college football, New Year's, et cetera, et cetera. 72 games. The 72 games thing, I like when Jay was talking about the negotiations on October 30th. I want to know how the 72 games going to fit into that negotiation, because now your contract is negotiated on an 82-game scale. But now you're saying 72, there could be some friction now that say, all right, you're not playing 10 games, So I'm curious to see how that's going to work if they do go to 72 games. Listen, the All-Star game. So you're going to take this 2-week break, and you're not going to play the All-Star game, or you're not going to have that weekend, I should say. And I'm not totally mad at that if you already know that you're not going to have fans. So if you're not going to have fans, I guess I can understand you saying, you know what, boom, they just scratch All-Star weekend in general. Because one of the biggest things about that is you have the fans there, they get to come, the players relax, they get to see the players in a different atmosphere than the usual, et cetera, et cetera. If you don't have fans, I guess I'm not totally mad with that, but then you want to give them a 2-week break, bit long, but I got it. The play-in tournament. Listen, Jay, I got it. Like, I did think it was a one-hit, one deal. Let's get people interested in the NBA again, and then, let's get those lonely bottom teams something to fight for. What a knee slapper. Evidently, they liked it so much. They liked it so much, they wanted to bring it back. If it's so nice, bring it back twice. All right, cool. Bam, you bring it, whatever. But I don't know. Like, your 8th and 9th seed got to be in a certain situation for this to work again. I got it the first time, but for it to work again, you're not going to get us again now, Adam Silver. So I like to see how this is going to work, but, come on, man. Sometimes when you make the first part of the movie, it's all right to make just one part of the movie. We don't need part 2, 3, and 4. You know what I'm saying? Let it go, but we'll see. And then, chaotic off season, whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, I would say this about Adam Silver. This guy tries. He be trying to give us what we want, give us what we need. This guy has done it all. He didn't, really bust his butt as a commissioner, I think, to make it happen. Not saying the other commissioners haven't, but I just like Adam Silver's very, very aggressive approach to everything he's done since COVID has hit the scene, you dig? So I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying his best. But sometimes you can overdo it. And as I look at a lot of these changes, I think he might be overdoing it just a tad bit. We'll see. I say that about a lot of things until it actually unfolds. So we'll see how it unfolds. And to Jay's point about October 30th, I do foresee it getting extended again and again, because if the players are saying 72 games, you're gonna have to. The owner's gonna say, okay, we want to renegotiate contracts. We're not paying for 10 games that you're not playing. That we're not doing. And then I can see this being like some deal. But the difference in between basketball and baseball is Adam Silver is not Rob Manfred. I don't think he's gonna just sit back and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna let them handle it." Oh yeah, yeah, and then everybody got to get on their knees and say, "Come on, Rob, please jump in here and get these guys to the table." No, 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 no. I can see Adam Silver out the gate just coming in there being like, "Let's sit down at this table. Let's figure this out because we ain't pulling no bull crap. The fans think the season gonna start at this point. We're gonna have this figured out by this point, bar none." So I do see that going a little different. But outside of that, it's just one of those wait and see approach things.
Yeah, we talked about this way back in March and after the shutdown, and we had first heard that the NBA could be restarting and this and that. One of the things I remember we talked about a lot, and I know I definitely said it, was whatever we do with the bubble, whatever we do afterwards, you need to make sure this doesn't bleed into the next season. Like, I didn't want this coming season to be affected. Because at the time, we thought, hey, coronavirus could be gone by now. 200 whatever days in the 15 days. But all that aside, it's still around, and it's not going to probably go anywhere anytime soon. But it does seem to be at least manageable right now. So it's good that we're back to getting close to normal. Like, we don't want to get so far at it, out in push. We don't want this to chain reaction into multiple seasons. So I think cutting this season down and getting it kind of succinct, up, done, and back on track is really the best way to do it. The 72 does, like you said, it does impact contracts, does impact some other things. Hey, you know what? If we give up the All-Star break for that, again, like y'all said, if there's no fans, then I don't know if that would have can you imagine a dunk contest in an empty arena? Like, would that really be fun? I know the All-Star game has already been under a lot of issues and a lot of ratings, issues, and it's just not been the same as it's been the last few years. So most likely that's not going to be the end of the world. But I am a little concerned about the offseason. Like Jay said, and he's right that free agency shouldn't really be impacted all that much as far as, you show up, you sign your guys, and you move on. But yeah, I think normally you do that, and you have a nice bit of an offseason to start integrating those guys. If that doesn't start until late November, you sign a guy, say December 1st, and then you got 3 weeks, and then they got your opening night with your, potentially a major free agency acquisition. That could be rough on teams that aren't going to pretty much bring the whole band back. Teams that are going to be active in this period with trades and with free agency. I feel like they're going to be hurt a little more by that, but at the same time, like you said, you got to get this restarted. So overall, this seems like a pretty good plan, and I think they're going to probably get it done. Like we saw the NBA the first time, they said we're doing a bubble. It got clowned, and then they pretty much just stayed the course and knocked it out of the park. So I see little reason to believe that we won't see the same thing with this. So I think it will go on track, but I could see the CBA getting a little out there and maybe taking some more time to work on. But like I said, I do have faith they're going to get this figured out, and hopefully we'll have basketball by Christmas. We'll see.